Yo, what's up my people, Fourth Prince here, and I just wanted to talk about the future of video games in general, and obviously the past, and what makes a certain video game successful. Now I was trying to think of successful video games that I could think of, and I struggle to think of any like really successful video games as opposed to successful sports. So I was kind of going, okay, like video games like Call of Duty, yeah, but we're only talking about 10 years. Gears of War 1, we're only talking about not even 10 years. What is that, 2006 I think Gears of War 1 come out? So that ain't really long anyway. Even though it feels like a long time ago, it actually really wasn't. And then I was thinking, okay, what other video games are kind of what everyone still loves to this day, knows and plays on a regular basis? And I couldn't think of any, so I had to go to sports basically, and them games like football stroke soccer is just been going for like over 100 years, I guess, you know what I mean? It's been going for over 100 years and people be still playing it. Tennis, golf, that's like really old, and people be still loving that now. Like football, I'm sure football has got to be the most popular sport in the world. It might not be, I don't know, but I know in England it's definitely the most popular sport. I'd be surprised if I'm wrong on that one. And every week it's the same map, so you ain't getting no content there. It's the same map, a green one, or maybe you might get like a blue one if you play indoors or something, or like a little short one if you're five-a-side or something like that. But the idea of the game is to get the ball, hunt the ball down. When you get the ball, kick it to someone else, and hopefully maybe you'll get to kick it in the goal. Now that has captivated humans for hundreds of years. Like hundreds of thousands of people every Saturday in the football season will be going off to watch their best teams play. That to me is just like, now that's a captivating game. Even though I don't really like football, I just can't understand it. The whole idea of that you're going to kick the ball, and the score lines, it seems really slow. There's not enough entertainment for me personally to go, okay, yo, this is like all the time going off. It's not really going off, is it? When you got scores like 2-1, 3-2, or maybe 4-2, or 1-1, or 0-0. 0-0, I just sat here for 90 minutes, maybe with extra time, and no one even got the balls in the net, and these guys are paid like hundreds of thousands of pounds a week to kick that ball. And I kind of always go, how is that captivated? Because it has though, as much as I might not like it, that has captivated humans for years, like hundreds of thousands. The World Cup's like one of the biggest global events ever. Do you know what I mean? I think it's probably more, the World Cup is probably more popular than the Olympics. And that's another one, the Olympics. You got people throw shot put, do rowing, throw the javelin. Man, just measure how far you threw it. Yeah, you threw that javelin really far. Throw a discus. Let's make something really difficult and get someone to throw it. Or high jump, long jump. You know what I mean? Triple jump, hop, skip, jump. Triple jump's surely been going for hundreds of years. Obviously it's not a popular one, so I will take away from certain ones. Then say you think you watch it, the Olympics, innit? But tennis, you've got the same map, you got two people with rackets and a ball, and they fire the ball at each other. I mean, I remember the first video game I ever played, which was Pong. And Pong is kind of like tennis, but on a video game, less graphics, just a line and a ball. But I don't think there's anyone playing Pong anymore. A lot of people still playing tennis. So I was like, how can video games ever compete with that? And I was thinking maybe the sport crowd and the video crowd are two different people. And then obviously I thought about FIFA 13 and went, FIFA 13, that's one of the popular video games that come out every year, and they've been doing that. I mean, I used to play FIFA 97, I used to really like that one, but they come out every year, and gamers always love that. They sell millions and millions of copies. It's probably one of the most popular games coming out, and it's football on your video games console, and people love it. Like hundreds of thousands of people love it. FIFA 13. I was going, well, why? The score lines are still different. I know it's got that tense, you can't get the ball, but I never feel like it entertains me enough. And then I started thinking about things like ball games, and ball games that are still popular now. Obviously chess I kind of in the end took out. I really like chess, but it's a thinking game and it's a very thought-worthy game. But I'm talking about more ball games where there's a dice involved, especially when there's that randomness, because I know as gamers we really hate the randomness, especially people who play competitive. They really hate that randomness, that random thing that could happen which will help the other team or help your team, just because it makes it unfair. So a lot of games such as on say Yahtzee, maybe Cluedo, you roll a dice, you've got an element of randomness, and there's no real skill involved a lot of the time. Maybe bits and bobs of skill, but if you don't land on certain squares, then the element of skill is just taken out because it's random. Whereas we don't like randomness. But then these games like Monopoly, I mean, Monopoly's been going. I used to play Monopoly as a kid, so that's at least what, 30 odd years. Do you know what I mean? And Buckaroo, how the hell is Buckaroo? You can still buy Buckaroo now. It's just, I don't know if you know what Buckaroo is. It's like a donkey where you put bits on it, and the more bits you put on it, the more chance it is of going Buckaroo. What? And that's been going. I had that as a kid, and you can still buy it now. Kaplunk, Ludo. Half these games are just. I'm like, well, how have they still stood the test of time? I mean, could we say that potentially in, like, we're talking like 30 years ahead, there's going to be anyone playing Gears of War, anything, or Call of Duty, anything, or whatever? Will these things stand the test of time, or are we stuck on the platform we're on? Because we're on Xbox 360, once that goes, kind of everything that's had anything to do with that kind of goes away too. I mean, that's the problem we've had with like Mega Drives and things like that. Once the Mega Drive is gone, you kind of losing all the games to that. I know there's a lot of people with emulators now, or you might be able to buy a disc in 20 years that'll have every Xbox 360 game on it. But only certain people buy that, and only certain people will be playing it as well. But I kind of feel, why haven't we had that video game that potentially will stand the test of time? Or do we have them games? Obviously, League of Legends is like huge. I mean, every time I go on Twitch TV and look at League of Legends, I don't really understand the game. I'm not sure. I don't think I really enjoy the game. But like, they've got like all the time on front page, like they've got like 100,000 people watching that. Well, that's people watching it on Twitch. That's not even people playing it. 100,000 people. I mean, that's amazing. That's so successful. Again, like some sports and other games, I can't understand why that certain game is successful, and I can't understand why my game at the moment, which is Gears of War Judgment, isn't successful. And the same with Gears 3. When I was in Gears 3, it was like, this game ain't really successful. It's hard to get a game. It's hard to get people to play the game. Everyone not happy, or, and I don't know, because I just feel that certain video games are so much ahead of like nearly anything else, especially Gears. I mean, I'm obviously maybe blinkered, but it's the game I enjoy. Any other video game shooters I don't really enjoy. I do like Halo. I can play Call of Duty. Battlefield's just alright. I don't like Battlefield really. I don't really like Call of Duty. That was a lie. I just don't. I play it for a bit and go, oh, I'm just bored. Oh, I got shot. Oh, I shot him. Oh, what? I don't understand. But where will we go? And when will we have that thing where maybe that gaming is a staple part of our lives? Obviously, football, people have been brought up with that, and there's a lot of an older generation that don't really know properly about video games, and might get the odd one, but then just play it a little bit. Can't take it seriously on the competitive front that video games. I feel like the generation coming up now, they're going to be very video game orientated in the next 10 years. I think that's the way we're probably going. Not saying we're ever going to get as big as football, but I also want to go, why not? Why? And they haven't changed rules in football. I think the only rule I can ever remember they changed in football was like the offside rule, and that was probably because Gary Lineker used to hang around the goal post and all the time. They haven't changed no rules. Or tennis, they've got Hawkeye in where you can just see where the ball is. That's the best bit about tennis sometimes, unless it's ladies tennis. Like, if it's the other best bit is the Hawkeye go, whoa, ooh, or yay, whatever. Do you know what I mean? There is no different elements. I mean, football's still got a referee, which I just find mind-numbing. You're going to have that much money on the field in players, and then you're going to have a dude who's he's only got two eyes. We're going to see a whole field of like however many people playing. Do you know what I mean? How is that right? Surely they need to have computer things looking at everything, making sure everything's right. Hawkeyes and like 6 referees, like proper referees sitting at a thing who can watch stuff back. Not like linesmen and the geezer just go, no, that was a foul. What? No, it wasn't. That, for me, on football just makes it just, personally, even crazy. Even more crazy. You know what I mean? Anyway, people, that's the ramblings of Fourth Prince. But what is the future of gaming? What do you guys think? Do you think we could ever get a game where someone is going to play in 100 years? So anyway, leave your comments down below if you think it is. Hopefully Gears of War Judgment can just see out the next 6 or 7 months. So, anyway, people, much love and peace.